Hello everybody, for this discussion, this week's reading from Sutherland and Tetlock and Gardner, I want to focus on a few ideas that really stood out to me and explain how they connect to my own life and to my work at Region 18. One of the biggest points from Sutherland is how much our behavior depends on the situation we are in. So we like to think we act the way we do because of our personality, but Sutherland shows that circumstances can push us in certain directions without noticing. When I think about my own life, I can see this clearly. There are days when I'm relaxed and patient, and then there are days when everything feels rushed and even simple decisions feel stressful. So I am the same person, but the situation changes how I react. So at Region 18, this shows up a lot. When something major goes wrong, like a network issue during a busy school day, even really experienced people can get thrown off. So the pressure of the moment can make people jump to quick fixes instead of slowing down to think things through. Sutherland's point about how circumstances shape our judgments is something I see almost every week in IT support. If we do not create space to think clearly, we risk making decisions we would not normally make. So another important idea from Sutherland is how easily we fool ourselves about cause and effect. Humans want simple explanations, but we are not always good at figuring out what actually causes something, especially when the feedback is delayed or confusing. In my personal life, I can admit I sometimes jump to conclusions. If something is not working at home, I immediately guess the cause without checking anything. At work, I see the same thing. A teacher or principal might call and say the entire network is down, but when we check, it's usually just one device, one access point or one filter setting. People want quick answers, but Sutherland shows how that can lead us in the wrong direction. The last idea comes from Tetlock and Gardner. They talk about how super forecasters update their beliefs. Instead of making huge swings when new information comes in, they make small, careful adjustments. Most information is partial or uncertain, so they treat it that way. So when I read that, it reminded me a lot of troubleshooting. The best IT work happens when people adjust little by little. You test something, learn from it, and update your understandings as well. So you do not, have the worst right away. You follow the evidence step by step. So in my personal life, this helps me, avoid overreacting when something is unexpected happens. It is easy to assume the worst. Thinking the way Tetlock describes helps me slow down and update my thinking more carefully. At Region 18, this mindset would help a lot of people. Instead of assuming, a huge issue is happening, we could ask ourselves what usually goes wrong. Most of the time it's something small. When we think in small updates instead of big leaps, we find solutions faster and we avoid that unnecessary stress. But yeah, overall these readings made me more aware of how easily we may be thinking that can be influenced by other situations, and how important it is to adjust my beliefs slowly instead of jumping to conclusions. Yeah, these ideas connected directly to the work we do in IT at Region 18 and also help me understand my own habits in everyday life. That is what stood out to me the most this week. But thank you all very much.